connecting, sir.
Okay.
We are live, sir.
Okay. Dear Pure Urology viewers, good evening, one and all. Today, it is not exactly urology technique related thing, but it is little different. After a long time, as we are approaching year end, everybody may think that you want to be fit, you wanted to start something new thing. I thought I will have this discussion. Primarily, we are focusing our discussion on the cycling. That is not 10 minutes or 20 minutes. It's a marathon cycling. You all know marathons are there for walking, running, cycling, swimming, etc. Today, our focus is on cycling, how to practice it initially, which cycle to buy, which shoes to buy, and what roads to be taken, how safe they are, what are the safety measures, and how to practice like that. For that, today our speaker is Dr. Ali Poonawala. Sorry, sir, I am named like Tiger. Ali Poonawala, who is from Bangalore, and our convener is a more experienced person, Dr. Ashish Saini from Delhi. I will briefly read about their CVs and then we will go on to the live. Can I have the slides, please? So, Dr. Ali Poonawala is from Bangalore. He worked in So he is consultant urologist at Alpha Clinic, Institute of Urology, Bangalore. He completed MBBS and MS General Surgery from Grant Medical College, JJ Group of Hospitals, Mumbai. He got FRCS and Diploma in Urology from London. He worked as consultant urologist at Hammersmith Hospital, London. His special interest is urodynamics. He is founding member Bangalore Cycling School 2016. And he is teaching adults to learn cycling, in fact, as a matter of return gift. Can I have next slide, please? Dr. Ashish Kumar Saini is a bit contemporary to me. He is MBBS gold medalist, MS MCH Urology gold medalist, AIMS DNB Urology. He is, apart from his academics, he is director and founder Excel Advanced Urology Center, New Delhi. He is ex-director and HOD Primus Super Speciality Hospital, New Delhi. Performed over 6,000 complex urological surgeries. Mentor for AEP, TUFLEP and HOLEP enucleation of prostate. Published 25 papers in leading group journals. First urologist from India to complete a full Ironman at Ironman Estonia 2025, comprising of 3.8 kilometers swimming, 180 kilometers cycling, 42.2 kilometers running. That is exceptional from a professional like urologist that do a good surgeon, good professional like Ashish Saini. First urologist in world to complete PBP 2023, Paris, Brest, Paris. 1200 kilometer cycling with 1150 meters of elevation in France in 2023. Phenomenal, both of them. And we are proud that Urology Society, one from South India and one from North India, are able to do these things. But our primary speaker is Dr. Ali sir, and Ashish Saini will give comments and ask questions and give clarifications in between. I will be intervening both in between, as I don't have any idea. Recently, I have taken a cycle. I am able to bicycle 1 or 2 kilometers. Even then, I'm getting pain in the back and perineum. So I'm doing only in the evenings as a hobby. So I'm literally at not even LKG, not even anything. So I do other exercise a bit, but not definitely cycling. It will be most interesting. Ali sir, can I ask few questions before you talk?
Sure.
Yeah. Thank you very much, both of you being here. First of all, I want to ask you one question for first 5 minutes to create the interest in the subject. First thing, as an MBBS doctor, nobody uh, thinks of a marathon. Nowadays, it is fashion, the running, because first of all, advertisement running is more by any hospital, by any organization, so people are going. But cycling per se is a tedious process. You have to travel a long distance. So when did you start first cycling?
Well, I am from Pune. So in Pune, you cycle in childhood. So I started cycling when I was a little boy, just like most of the boys learn. And then
Yeah.
I started cycling again only after I came back from UK as you said, as a hobby. So I used to cycle in the mornings for just about 6 to 7 kilometers because I
Okay.
used to be scared of the buses. The BMTC in Bangalore, they are the
Yeah.
ones who drive like as if they're driving a small auto. So they were
Yeah.
the notorious people. You will be
Yes.
scared of them.
So I
So Ashish Saini, what about you? When did you start? You did MBBS, all this. You are a very good academician too. And when did you start your cycling?
so sir, I used to cycle to my in my hometown Saharanpur. I used to go to school by a cycle. I did not
Okay.
have any bike or any scooter. So till 12th class, I went to school by cycle.
Oh,
Then I started cycling in as a hobby in the end of October 2021.
oh
So
my
so it was
God. Hmm.
so
That's
basically
really
so
commendable.
yeah.
Your
So it
father, mother, army officer to nahi hai?
no
Your
no no
father,
my
mother, army. They are
No, my
army.
father he's a fit man. He is an Ayurvedic doctor, and my mother she's a housewife.
Okay.
But my father is always still he is very keen on his fitness. So he wakes up every morning, goes for a jog in the morning. He cycles. I started him into cycling 2 years back. So he started cycling,
Hmm.
and it has actually helped in his back pain. So
Okay.
so basically, it is, I think, the environment which you bring in your family, and then
Hmm.
thought that because there was a lot of, I had never did any exercise as in my MBBS, MS, or MCH. Apart from
Oh.
in MCH, we were doing some gym for some
And when did you
20.
learn swimming? You know swimming from childhood?
No, no, I learned last year. 20, February 2023 was my first, 2024. So February I started freestyle swimming, and then I did a half Ironman in September last year, and then this year a full. So
That means you
swimming,
have to swim in the sea.
yeah. So open water swimming, I started. The first sea swim I had actually in my Ironman event only. I never swam in the sea. So,
Hmm.
but then I learned last year.
Very good.
Yeah.
Sir,
That's
Ali
swimming.
Poonawala, sir,
Yes.
you appear very thin. In fact, looks very balanced in the terms of weight and body mass index. Do you feel that the people who go for exercises can they afford to eat more, or you have to follow the discipline in eating? Not that you have done kilometers of cycling last week and then you can have whatever you want. What is your personal opinion on that? I know you are very strict and disciplined. What is the message you want to give to
Um,
the young urologists
I
who are
don't
suddenly
think,
getting at sir?
yeah. I mean, I think it's not really necessary that those who cycle are really very fit from BMI point of view. There are a lot of cyclists who are quite overweight, including central obesity, but they are able to cycle because they have acquired that endurance. So there is no strict
Okay,
relationship between the BMI and your ability to cycle long distance. That's
okay.
so you can
So
anytime.
you have a little bit consciousness about your eating. Can you tell your eating habits? It's
Um,
not that
so yeah, I would say that I am blessed with a reflux esophagitis. So I call
okay.
it blessing because it doesn't allow me to eat a lot. So
So you eat less.
it
You are too
automatically
frank a
controls
person,
my
I
weight.
know. But I can see last time I asked your age, it was very, very. it appears very unusual that you look very young, but your age appears to be more than what you look. That is actually for all fit people. And whenever you cycle for long hours, what do you carry with you? What do you can you eat and then cycle, or you carry
Yes.
only liquids?
No. I do carry I basically use Indian sort of chickpeas as my main supplement. But at the same time, I would normally then take break in between. Most of the endurance cyclists would take break every hour or two. Nobody really cycles for long distance on actually without stopping, unless they are in a race mode. So I'm not into the race mode. So I think Dr. Ashish will be the best person to give an opinion. So I don't use any of the Western those pouches, etc., which are available fast and up. There are a lot of nutritional packs which are available in the Western world. But I basically I would take a break in any dhaba or any roadside eatery and have whatever is available, idli or dosa or whatever. So I don't really carry a lot of but I do carry
Okay.
water sipper. So there's a water sipper is basically it's a what is called as a hydration bag. It's a plastic pouch which has got a tubing and you can sip through that. Many people use the bottles. So these are the two options available for hydration because it does become very hot when you are cycling long distance and the water availability may not be very good in some places. So
That is very much true.
yeah.
And
So
what about when you are cycling? What do you think? Will you keep music? Such long hours, concentration is a big. For example, when we are cycling, we'll think about hospital surgeries. Tomorrow, what surgeries will come, or how the patients are. When should I go? Where should I go? We'll think like that in that 15 minutes. What do you think generally for example, 4 hours continuously cycling needs extreme concentration. What do you think?
actually, I don't think so. I think the thinking process remains the same for a cyclist or a non-cyclist. We have always what is called as a wandering mind. You don't
Yeah.
with cycling it becomes a reflex. You don't have to really concentrate on the cycling part of things while you're doing long distance. So your thinking will be whatever. In a way, it is a meditation. You do
Yeah.
reflect upon a lot of things which you have done in the past, what you're going to do in future. So as usual, like is any person who has got a free time, they will think of various things. So does a cyclist while he is on the saddle. I'm sure Dr. Ashish also would
Yeah,
agree.
Ashish, your opinion about the breathlessness, the restlessness, and tiresome when you do these things. A comment from Ashish. Apart from concentration, how do you concentrate?
So basically, we first the nutrition part. So as you are, so it depends upon at what zone. So there are different zones of cycling. People can, so whenever you are cycling or running, there are hard zones: zone one, zone two, zone three, zone four, and zone five. Usually, an endurance cycling is basically in your zone two. Zone two, in a simple manner, is when you can actually talk to other person and uh, he can understand what you are saying. So that is known as zone two cycling. Zone 3 is when you can talk, but the other person may not be able to comprehend what you are saying. Zone 4 is your VO2 max, and Zone 5 is your anaerobic thing. So, for
Hmm.
any endurance, basically, it is the engine. So, you have to increase the CC of your engine. So, from a 1200 to 1500 CC to 2000, something like that. So, as you increase your Zone 2, so that is then you will not feel breathlessness. So, it all depends upon the training at what is your baseline heart rate and at what. So I always measure my heart rate. We measure our power. So there is a power meter in the cycle where we measure how much power we are generating and what is the heart rate. So basically there is a lot of science into it. Regarding nutrition, nutrition is very important because for any event, if you are especially even in the morning time, like if you have gone at 4 o'clock, there may be many dhabas which will not be open. There are many other things. So we always carry, like we carry solid food like bananas, which are very good for they are calorie dense. We carry nuts. We also carry gels. The gels are basically carbohydrate rich, so they are quickly absorbed in your body. So after a period of 2 hours of continuous cycling, your body's glycogen store will deplete and you may bonk out. Therefore, you have to take those gels or any other these sort of nutrition in between so that you do not feel that the carbohydrates are low, because as your carbohydrate become low, your brain will give the signal that you are bonking out and you will feel that as if there is a brick or a wall. So that is how you initially, so it all everything takes up a time. So for any tall building you need a very strong foundation. Takes
Hmm.
time.
Okay. Ali sir,
Yeah.
do you have the presentation, sir?
Yes, I do have. Yeah.
Yeah. Can you now I
We
will
can.
ask in between. Can you share the presentation and go
Sure.
ahead, sir? Thank
Sure.
you. Ashish, you are feel free to discuss. This is not a
Yeah.
regular scientific forum. It is for the any person. If one person encouraged with this program, I will be very happy. I am also a little bit concerned about my health, and I love to do exercise daily, yoga daily. But little bit positive on the nutrition side. I eat more. I will be traveling, but I like to know a little bit. Many people will be knowing. So let us go with the presentation of Dr. Ali Poonawala, sir.
Yeah.
Meanwhile, why your name is Poonawala, sir? Because you are from Pune or
Because
it's
I'm
your
from Pune.
surname?
Yes. Yes. I was born in Pune, so my name becomes Poonawala.
Right, sir. Okay, right, sir.
Okay. Yeah. Next, please. So we have been asked to give our opinion. Next, please. On to the. We have to focus on the physical endurance and how to balance between our professional and the personal wellness. Next, please. So, how we can enhance our fitness and overall well-being is what Dr. Chandramohan had asked me to talk about or has written. Next, please. So, I'm going to say a few words about what is required as a fitness. So, musculoskeletal, cardiorespiratory, and mental. All three are very important. Next, please. And you can do it by various ways, by running, cycling, swimming. Even racket sports are included as a marathon event or endurance sports. And I'm going to concentrate on what are the advantages or disadvantages of these. Next, please. And the equipment which I have been used to, I'm going to mention, and I think Ashish is going to add up to that later on. Joining is a group is very important. And Dr. Ashish, I think he's going to talk on these things next, please. On various. He has already mentioned a few things. Maybe he's going to enlarge more on that later. The next, please. So we need to have a work-life balance. You can see here that you have a dog who's working on his computer, and then he's also fishing and he's enjoying his birthday cake. Next, please. So are you able to do all this? And if you can, is there anything missing? Next, please. So if you say that I'm working 9 to 5 on call, Sundays are off, I attend all the meetings for my schools and we have a vacation and my life is good. Is there anything which is missing here? Next, please. So if you are not fit, then it is possible that you will have an issue with your life. Next, please. So what is that issue? We all want to live long time because we have only one birth as a human in general. We may be in the life cycle and we may have a rebirth as a human again, but it's considered as a highest standard of living in the samsara is that of a human being. So we are going to age and we are going to die. So is there anything we can do? Yes, we can reduce our decline. That's an optional. That is within in our hands. That is what will make us live longer. Next, please. So how do we know how long are we going to live? Next, please. So there are some things we can't change. We can't change our genetics. We cannot change our environment. If you are in Delhi, you will be breathing whatever air is available. But we can change how we react to the world around us and how we remain fit physically. And that's a 40% or more is considered a proportion which contributes to longevity. Next, please. Now, are there any ways you can judge how fit you are? So yes, there are three important indicators which will be able to tell you. One is a grip strength. Next. So there are what is called as a dynamometer. Next, please, which can measure how strong is your grip. And at 20, you should be able to have a power of up to 47 kg. At 70, it can reduce to 20. The next test is a single leg balance. How long can you stand on a one leg? This is for the balance and the coordination, because the falls are very important cause of morbidity as we grow older. So at 70, you should be able to stand for 20 seconds on one leg. Next, please. And the last
So,
is what is called as VO2 max.
so
This is
just
this,
just on this grip strength.
yeah,
So a very simple way of testing it if you do not have that grip strength thing is if you do a dead hang for a woman, 1 minute 30 seconds, for a man 2 minutes 30 seconds is what the standard is between 40 to 50. So basically you try to do that and achieve that. Other
Hanging, just with hanging with hands.
Yeah, so if you are able to hang with your hands, with both the hands as a dead hang,
Yeah,
and
yeah.
you're able to be there for more than 2 minutes, then you have a good grip strength, because that is also a predictor of the grip strength. And
correct.
the single leg balance also, as sir said, that if you are able to do it for more than a minute, then your cognition and everything, the balance thing. So these are very exciting datas on actually your whether you are having hypertension, blood pressure, or these things are actually much more important in your longevity. So thank you, sir. Please continue. So I
Yeah,
will just
sure,
bother you for
absolutely.
a minute
No
or so.
problem, no problem. It
More
is,
than
you are also
welcome.
equally
Yes, yes.
important for us to
Yeah,
contribute for this interaction. What
absolutely.
is VO2 max, sir?
Yeah, so it is the amount of oxygen your body can use maximum per minute. So this is the VO2 is volume of oxygen. Next, please. So the more your body can use, that means the more your cardiorespiratory fitness, it's a indicator of how fit is you from cardiovascular point of view and cardiorespiratory point of view. So the more oxygen, of course, VO2 max is a general indicator. It doesn't always mean that if your VO2 max is high, you will be able to win a race. There are two important factors which will actually come in: your mental makeup and also the efficiency of your muscles to utilize the oxygen which is available. And that depends on your mitochondria, which you have been able to garner by doing endurance training. So next, please. And this is it's a basically two sort of tables of men and women. And as I already said, that as we age, our VO2 max may reduce, and it will depend on what is your VO2 max, which will be able to give you an edge when you do your endurance sport. But in general, I think when you are talking about long distance cycling, we are not really going to be using our VO2 max at all. We will be in a sub.
Yeah.
Our utilization of oxygen is much less, and it's the tiredness of the muscle or a lactic acid buildup. That's what is actually more important for us long distance
But
training.
sir, as you cycle, then and if you are doing it for the long run, then your VO2 max will increase. And usually, the VO2 max is a very big predictor of even doing basic things. So as you age, and if you are at if there is a very big decline of VO2 max, especially in India, because people do not do any exercise, a VO2 max of if it is like around 20-25, you may not be able to do your basic things in life. So that is the prediction of a VO2 max. The VO2 max, as the VO2 max increases, your zones also increase.
Correct.
So basically it helps in endurance also, because then your fatigue level is actually lesser than what you have already achieved. So there is a very big range where
Yeah.
your heart rate can actually go. So,
What is your VO2 max, Dr. Ashish? Can I ask?
sir, mine is Abhi, it is 52.
Oh, wow, fantastic. Yeah.
How
So
do you
I,
calculate, sir, this? How do you calculate this?
Sir,
so
actually, there are two ways. One is by your watch, the Garmin watch which you have. The best way is to be have a breath analyzer. So I did a breath analyzing a CO2 test where you run on a treadmill with that thing over your mouth, and they will analyze how you are. So you have to actually run for 20 minutes at your maximum capacity, and then they will give you your VO2 max. This is your VO2 max where you are able to utilize that oxygen per minute. The so now my VO2 max is basically just in the superior level. It's going to reach there. Uh, the athletes which are like the one who run something like the Kenyans or the Europeans, their VO2 max maybe between 65 or 70. It also depends upon your age. So in a younger, like 18 years old, may have a VO2 max around 70, and then it drops after 40 years. So important is to maintain that VO2 max. If you are able to maintain it at 45 also, uh, at at your age like 50, in your 50s, if your VO2 max is around 45 to 50 in between, then you are very good. Then you are in a very good capacity of aerobic capacity.
Thank you. Very good. This is a new information.
yeah. The next, please.
Yes, sir. Proceed, sir.
Yeah. So actually, WHO is very concerned about rising inactivity in most of the population, both urban and rural. And it has come out with this informatic graph where it says every move counts. Next, please. And it basically, it is trying to improve our physical conditioning by advising us as to what is considered as a good human being in terms of physical activity. Next, please. So every move counts, meaning you should be spending next, please, as little time as a sedentary person, and more of movement must happen. And 150 minutes of a moderate physical activity is considered as a good per week. So that means if you are spending half an hour every day, that would be generally sufficient as a moderate activity. Now, as Dr. Ashish has already said, this how do you really calculate what is moderate, what is light, what is strong? It depends on your heart rate. Next, please. So what is new now is that WHO has said that even people with disability, because there is a large number of people who are physically disabled, and many people would consider that they shouldn't be doing exercise. But they have said that this applies equally to even people with those who have got disability like Parkinson's or what. They may not be able to do the same level of activity, but the time which is being spent is important. Next, please. And it should also include, apart from the activity like whatever you do, dancing, gardening, cycling, you should also do what is called as a muscle strengthening. Now, this is very different from the activity which are actively doing in terms of sports or endurance. So even if you are doing those activities, your muscle strength overall is very important, and hence weight training. This is called as in a simple word, going to a gym or using your body, or you can even use various bands are available of different strength, which you can use to generate isometric contractions in different groups of muscle. And the last is, of course, you should be doing activities which require balance also. So overall, it is very important that older patients concentrate on the balancing part of things, because the physical falls are the most important cause of the morbidity and mortality. Next, please. And the more the activity is, the more is the benefit. So 300 minutes per week is what is now recommended for those who can do it. Next, please. Now, how do you make? Ashish has already mentioned about this. I'm just going to say a few words about that. So metabolic equivalent of task, or MET, is the actual term which scientists use in terms of grading the activity. Next, please. And heart rate zone, he has already mentioned, zone 1 to 5. And how do you know what is should be your maximum heart rate? Then the age, whatever is your age, you minus it from 220. So a light activity is where you are in a heart rate of zone 1, where 50 to 60% of heart rate, maximum heart rate is achieved. You should be able to swing, to sing in that activity. So a leisure walk, yoga, doing dishes, this is considered as a light activity. Moderate is you can talk, but you're just able to do. Next, please. So if you're cycling on a flat ground or a brisk walk, slow dancing, this would be considered as a moderate activity. When you are doing into the vigorous, that means if you are cycling uphill, next please, or you are running, swimming, then you may be able to only speak words, and that is using 70 to 80%, and that would be considered as a zone 3 to 4. Very vigorous would be 4, and extremely hard would be zone 5, where you cannot actually continue for more than a few minutes. That will be at 100% of your heart rate, maximum heart rate. So all these are very important. And what is in the last one, which we said, very vigorous or a hard exercise, what you should be doing is what is called a HIIT. That means this is an interval intense activity. You do not do it continuously. You do it for a short duration and have equal or more of a rest, which is at a lower activity. So that is considered now is the best way of improving your VO2 max. So you were asking the question, how to become fit? Then the most useful way is by doing intense activity where you are really breathless and lasting for a few seconds or a minute all only. And you have to give rest in between, and you have to do repetitions of that.
Yeah.
So that is called as HIIT.
So basically,
High intensity intense training.
So basically there is
Interval
a,
training.
so there is a, I'll just interrupt, sir.
Yeah.
So there is a method in running known as the Norwegian method. Norwegian method is basically 4x4. So you do 4 minutes of intense workout where your heart rate has actually gone into the VO2 max category. Then you rest for another 2 to 3 minutes. So you can do it by 4. For people who are just beginning, they can do, just as sir said, that 1 minute or 2 minutes of intense activity. Like even if you're climbing stairs, so you can climb 4 or 5 flights of stairs, and then you take a break, then you again do that. So if you are doing that in interval training, that makes so it happens during running also, during your normal even cycling also, where you can actually increase the power for 8 minutes. Some people, like we do it for 8 minutes, you can do it for 4 minutes, then give a break of 2 minutes, recover yourself, and then again do it. These activities like HIIT sessions should be done once in a week.
Next, please. So now we were discussing about that there are various ways or avenues, and this is just, I have made a small sort of table to see as to how does each sport actually compare. And so running, cycling, swimming, and the racket sports like badminton or tennis are compared. The first line is about how much expense it is. So obviously, I think running is your shoes, and there are people who run actually without shoes. So for them, there is actually there is no expense at all. They just need to have a simple short and a bunion, and they can start running on the road, and it is absolutely free. Cycling comes as a slightly more expensive. Swimming requires a pool, and of course, racket sports require not only a club membership, and you know, it's obviously much more intensive in terms of investment. What are the advantages on the cardiac and overall mortality? So ACM is all causes mortality reduction, and CVM is the cardiovascular mortality reduction. So you will see here that the racket sports actually are the winner hands down. That means if you are playing either a badminton or tennis, then your risk of dying is going to be much less. The advantage from time point of view, the time you spend for a sport, the cycling is actually the least efficient. It reduces by 15 to 70% only in a average cycling this thing. Now, so each of them have advantages and disadvantages, and you need to really decide what is best for you. For example, bone health is best for running because it is an impact sport, while there is absolutely no advantage at all if you are swimming. But there is, as a swimmer, again, you have a excellent whole body activation, upper body as well as lower body, while cycling is only lower body. And so is actually running is mainly of lower body. Accident risk is much higher with cycling and it is very minimal with swimming or the racket sport. But sports injuries are again very high with the racket sport. So all these are important that you need to really take a call. What is your calling? Your calling is more important, and consistency of doing your sport is more important rather than just buying equipment and then just go for 1 week and then stop going because you don't have time or whatever. Next, please. You want to add anything, Ashish, on this?
Sir, it all actually I feel cycling is the most expensive when we look at that.
Okay.
And running also depends upon how many shoes you want to wear because if you do not change your shoes frequently, you may have injury. There are certain people who are proponents of barefoot running, but it's very difficult looking at the road condition in India. You may have injuries otherwise also. So you need to look into these things that whatever the cost is, a good shoe is important, especially for a beginner at our age. We see barefoot running is basically when somebody is running in his initial life, like the Kenyans. They don't have money to buy the shoe, so they are barefoot runners till 18 years. But once they are into the active sport, they are actually having a shoe. Their running form has been improved because of right from the very beginning. So for you can incorporate barefoot running in your training, like for you can go for 500 meters or for a kilometer, but not the entire thing. And then you can. I did a assessment. So there is an assessment where on a treadmill, you can go to an ASIC showroom where they will do a free test. They will see whether you are neutral or you are pronator or you are supinator, and depending upon your gait analysis, they will recommend the shoe. I think it is very important. Otherwise, 70 to 80% of the runners have injury, and with the injury, if they are not able to have the physio and everything at the right time, they don't have longevity in the sport. So important is to have longevity in the sport, and therefore uh, spend some time, spend some money, buy the right stuff, and then carry on. Thank you.
Right. Next, please. I think we'll have to hurry up a little bit. Yeah. Okay. So I think we have already know all this is the advantage of cycling. Next, please. And mainly lower body. So you can see here there is an improvement of reduction in the mortality of 17% at 100 minutes of cycling and of 33% at 600 minutes of cycling per week. Next, please. And it also has improvement as far as heart risk. Next, please. Yeah, okay. Next, please. If you want to see any slide, just please ask me to stop. So it has been found that even in the cities which are polluted, there is still advantage of cycling in the reduction of the mortality and cardiovascular death, in spite of having a high air pollution. Now, of course, in here, what is important is air pollution. Particulate pollution is not there in all these countries which we have in India. Next, please. So the risks are there of dying and injuries with cycling. It looks very horrible, but it is a fact that those countries where cycling is not popular have the highest cycling deaths and highest cycling injuries. For example, USA as compared to Netherlands, which is a cycling country. So I think it's very important as to what is your general environment, and your risk will depend on that. Next, please. So if you haven't ever cycled, then we can, it's very important that you start learning at any age. Next, please. So we teach in Bangalore freely, no charge at all. Next, please. And so these are the ladies who are fairly elderly, and they have started cycling at 60s and 70s. Next, please. So you require a friend who will teach you. You require a slope, gentle, and or a paved road which is not very busy. You should have a cycle which you can remove your pedals. You should check your cycle whether it is good or not, and only then use the cycle. Next, please. So we have got a manual, next please, which tells you what is the best way to learn to cycle if you have never cycled. And we have got the resources as videos and Facebook, etc. Next, please. And these are our volunteers and students who we gather on Sundays in Cubbon Park and for 2 hours. Next, please. So this is a question which is asked to me, what should I buy? Then my question as a return is, why do you want to cycle? Next, please. So there are people who want to cycle only because it is part of their bucket list. Next, please. That means they will learn cycling and do nothing more. Next is they want to ride with the family for holidays, general fitness, weight reduction. There are some who would say that they want to commute to work because, like in Bangalore, they're fed up of traffic. Next, and weekend rides, mountain riding, cross country, racing. So each of you have got a different reason for cycling. And so you need to buy a cycle which is appropriate for your goal. There is no point in buying a road cycling bicycle if you are going to be only commuting 5 kilometers and in the city. Next, please. So if you go on the Google, there are cycles from 40,000 as a starting and even 4 to 5,000. So you will be confused. So it's best to have a friend who knows what exactly are you looking for, and you should take the friend when you go to buy a bike. So I think Decathlon is there in most of the places, or there are very good cycling shops from which, if you go with a friend who understands what you are looking for, he will be able to help you. Next, please. It's not easy to learn what do you require in terms of your fit, bicycle fit, etc. So I mentioned here there are so many types of bicycles, from mountain bike to folding bicycles. If you are commuting in train, metro, you may be able to use a folding bicycle as a last mile connectivity. So next, please. What are the important safety gears? I will say that the most important, of course, next please, is the helmet. So if you have a basic bicycle and if you have a helmet, for a short distance, you really don't need anything else. You can use your ordinary shoes, ordinary chappals, whatever you wish to use. Gloves, bike computer, water bottle. No. Remain there. Shoes, etc., are very important for endurance bicycles. As you mature into your cycling, then the light, because you will be then cycling very early in the morning, or you will be returning very late at home. So for those things, you require either the reflective jacket and the lights, etc. You require pumps if you are going to be going for long distance and a puncture kit. A jersey, etc., is all again to reduce airway resistance, and sunglasses and mask is required to reduce the air pollution, as well as because of the risk of your skin burns as well as the eye injuries. Next, please. So this, I think, I would leave it for Ashish to, if he has got any more input on in the essentials. Of course, he's going to talk about the hydration and the nutrition. He's already mentioned some of it. Endurance building is over a period of time. You have to start somewhere. Okay, next, please. So start small, join a group, and you should enjoy. I think the most important part is if you are not having fun, stop and rethink. You need to then maybe either have a different strategy or take another endurance activity. So it is very important that you take help. There are many things which you will learn with a group. That includes like what are the shoes you should be wearing? Should you be wearing shoes which are special, which have got clips? So I think Ashish may be able to help on this.
Basically, I started on a cleat. Basically, these are cleats and pedals. So clip and cleat pedals. So what happens is that when you are bicycling, then the entire you do not lose the power. When with a normal shoe, you will lose the power as the pedal is going up. So the midfoot and sometimes the people may be using their toe or the back of the heel for cycling. So in a cleat, what happens is that you fix the cleat and then they actually we do a bike fit with the cleat on, and so that the power whatever you are using is not lost. It is important for a long ride. So I started on cleats when I was going for a 400-kilometer ride. uh, it is important that you should know how to uncleat, because sometimes the biggest fall is when the person has just put on a cleat. So this is that your cycling will become better. You will save on the power. It become more economical, but there is a risk of fall. Uh, so you need to be very careful. You should have a very good experience of almost maybe I did almost 1,500 or 2,000 kilometers of cycling. Then I put on a cleat.
How many kilometers so far both of you have done? Do you have record?
Yes, I have basically the cycling because of the Ironman journey in the past 1.5 years, it has become less. But I have done almost 28,000 kilometers.
Okay. Do you have any record of that, sir?
No, I don't have any record at all. My
So,
So my cycling is totally goal oriented in the sense I do not cycle if I don't need to cycle. If I have to go anywhere and if I can cycle, I will cycle. That's the way I normally have been doing. It's a purely objective of reaching that place
what is
safe.
the longest distance conference you have attended? In
So
South
the
India, you try to attend with cycle.
yeah, the
What is
one
the longest distance you have traveled,
longest
sir?
is to Pune, which was 850 kilometers. That's the longest
Uh,
one I've done.
from Bangalore to Pune.
Yes, from Bangalore to
Amazing, amazing, sir.
yeah.
How much time it took?
I took 4.5 days. I would cycle only in the daytime. I didn't cycle in. So every day I was doing 200 kilometers. Yeah.
Okay,
So I
great.
mean, it
I'm
depends. My objective was not really as a endurance sport, but mainly to be environment friend. Transport is possible if one wants to do it. The issue is about the time one has to spare, and that's
Yeah,
very
yeah. That is
difficult.
about to say that
Yeah,
that time sparing is a great thing. And there's
yeah,
a time sparing for yourself, your
correct.
body, your future.
Yes.
It's really worth actually in one perspective. But
Yeah.
in the modern era, it is not practical.
I agree. I agree.
Very few people like you can do
Yeah.
that because of
Yeah.
passion. Anyway, that's a
Yeah.
different subject altogether.
Yeah.
Ashish, when I came to your place on the rooftop, when I came to your hospital, you are showing different type of cycles you have used. And the present cycle which you are using around 17 lakh rupees, not to mention that it is great or less. What are the features as you grow, as you give more money? What are the features in the cycle that they improve? It goes up to 15 lakhs, 20 lakhs.
So
A
basically,
decent car, a
so what
decent car
happens
comes
is,
in 20 lakhs. But what the cycle can do in a 17 lakhs, I wanted to know.
see, basically it is like a Da Vinci XI
Yeah,
versus Mantra. So,
yeah.
so basically the cycle which was bought was actually made in Italy. It was all, so the carbon on the cycle is basically the same carbon which is used for an F1 car. And the
Mm.
entire design is patented. So they patent everything. It's an asymmetric bike known as Pinarello. Uh, Basically, instead of buying a big car on Diwali, I bought a cycle and actually I saved money because
Mm.
the car is driven by the driver, the cycle is driven by me. So
Mm.
that is how I look at when I'm buying a cycle. That I have joy of riding it. With the as the carbon stiffness increases, your ride becomes much more. So the bumps are actually less. The weight to power transmission is more. It is a very responsive bike. So it's basically once you have done that cycling, you will feel as if your body and cycle becomes one as you are descending on a mountain or you're climbing a mountain, something like that. So those cannot be described with the money. Uh, we buy big SUVs, but usually they are enjoyed by our drivers rather than us. In my
Yeah,
case, so
very true.
I don't want to spend money on that. I have a simple Tata Curve EV, and I'm happy with
Mm.
that. For but
Yeah, Adi sir, a
Yes.
little brief last 5 minutes, few questions to both of you, quick fire questions. Some people does mountain climbing with uh, bicycle and they also show some uh, bicycle while coming from the mountain, they control very well. Is there anything to do cycling or is it totally different sports
It is a
altogether?
completely different sport. That is
Yeah,
really not endurance. That is a very risky, uh,
risky.
yes, this thing. And what you will see is a clip of people who have done it successfully. You do not see the guys who have landed in the orthopedic department with multiple fractures. That
Yeah,
they
yeah,
will,
yeah.
that they will never show, but that is
Yes, yes.
reality for a large number of people. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. Sir, now a little mention. Majority of the people after 50 years get knee joint pains. People say cycling is very good. Even oldest people in the house, they
Yes.
can keep cycle at the parallel level. I mean to say no inclination, do this thing. Sit comfortably and do cycling. It is an activity which improves the muscle, which improves the oxygenation, whatever you say we were to. Is it true that this is one exercise like swimming where knee joints doesn't get injured? Did you ever feel, for example, when I did cycling for whenever I was low on my mood, there is a ground which has multiple rounds you can do the ground. Nobody will come disturb. When I did for 1 hour, I get little bit of pain in the perineum, which I mentioned with you. And otherwise, I don't get any other pain. Is it that knee pain, those who have, we can do cycling, and how
So
to
I think
avoid perineal pain?
so the important part, what Ashish initially indicated, is what is called as a bike fit. So bike fit is very, very important whenever you start an activity like cycling. It's like when you go for a party, you will be wearing your own shoe, coat and suit, which is tailor made. You will
Yeah,
not
yeah.
be wearing shoes or a coat of your brother. So exactly the same thing will apply. If you want to do a proper cycling, then you must have what is called as a bike fit. You can either do it yourself. There are enough videos available as to what should be the cycle, what should be the height, or you can go to any of these good shops which who measure your distance from the perineum to your foot, and they will also, depending on which uh, which type of activity you want to do. Do you want to do only on city riding, or do you want to be doing a racing? They will give you an appropriate bike fit. This is very important. Your
Yeah,
perineal pain and knee pains are definitely due to a poor bike fit, most likely.
poor bike,
Ashish may
depending
be
on
able
the
to
height.
help more.
So basically, there are two things. One is most important is a poor bike fit. So whenever you are starting, and your bike fit also changes as your endurance, as your fitness increases. So the bike fit which is done in 1 year may not be the right for you after the second year, because as you become more fit, you become more agile. Second is that there may be muscle imbalances. There may be certain muscles which you are not using at all, especially the vastus medialis. These are the muscles, so they can have a so people can have a knee pain, they can have an ankle pain, they may have an ankle numbness, especially after a long ride, even the perineal pain. So there are certain bib shorts. So bib shorts are basically which you wear and they have a padding. So depending upon the advanced level, so if you go to decathlon, there will be three levels of bib shorts: early, intermediate, and advanced levels. So you can buy them. They have so there is a lot of science into it. There are certain international companies which we also produce that. So we always wear those bib shorts when we are going for a longer ride. You don't want to screw with the perineum. It is very important as a urologist, as you all know.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
So
I
and
will
then there are
just
seats. So the seats are actually also customized. So there are 3D customized seats also. In a simple way, I would say that the bike fit should always be done. If you have spent a considerable, if you have spent 50,000 rupees on the bike or 60,000, just spend 2,000 on the bike fit. You'll be a happy person.
also, you
Okay,
start
I got the point.
slow. Don't start with a cycling for 1 hour if you have never cycled before. You should be
Yeah, yeah,
doing
yeah.
10 minutes to start with, stop. Next time, do 15 minutes. I think that's very important that you
Yes,
have
yes.
incremental rather than a large binge of cycling. I think that's also a reason that your perineum is not used to,
Yes.
that sort of maltreatment. It is a maltreatment in a way.
Yes, sir. Lastly, both of you, if somebody has not done any exercise up to 50 years and wants to do cycling, in a week time, if he has time morning 1 hour, if he has a community where he can do, how many kilometers he can do, how many days he must do, and initial how much roughly when my son was buying cycle, when he has gone for 40,000 rupees, I was astonished why he is going for 40,000 because the cycles in childhood we had was 700 rupees, 800 rupees, and we used to hire also. They used to take 2 rupees, 5 rupees like that cycle hiring. After that, when I went to Ashish Saini house, then I thought, okay, my son is not that bad, and he is also sports person. So it's like that
Yes.
quick guide for a beginner after 40, 50 years, because it's if you know it, cycling is relatively easy exercise to start with and do it. When I was doing for around 6 months, I never felt anything wrong. But only thing is, time was not was a problem for me. I used to come at 9, 9:30 and then do, and slowly after 9:30 doing, because I now I am walking for 2, 3 kilometers and leaving. Because morning I will do it. Morning I cannot go for cycling because I am used to different thing. So what is your advice? This is the last question for both of you. Who has not done any cycling, but they know cycling. At 50 years, how many kilometers per day? How many days a week? And what decent cycle, I mean, you can buy? Three questions.
So
Ali
I
sir.
would suggest that he should start only 3 days a week.
Okay.
He should not be doing, and start 15 minutes, half an hour, 45 minutes, 1 hour.
Okay.
He should not be really aiming at a distance at all. I think
Yeah, yeah.
his comfort zone is the most important thing. His muscles, his body. I think listening to your body is one of the most important principle for any sports, including endurance sports. If you don't listen
Yeah.
to your body, you will suffer. Which bike to use? As I said, I showed a slide where there are bikes for 5,000 available. For a
Yeah, yeah.
person who's just beginning, he can either take a friend and buy a second-hand bicycle, or he can just buy any of these new bikes which are available. I know
Mm.
there are people who will say that no, you should go for an expensive bike to start with, but there is chances are there that either you may not continue the activity
Yeah,
for long,
yeah.
or or you may hurt in a fall or something, and the bicycle can get damaged. So these are the important four reasons why I would say that either rent a bicycle or use your son's bicycle. If you are 40-year-old, I'm sure your son's bicycle is there. He is going to college. He is not using the bicycle. Use
Yeah,
his
yeah.
bicycle. That would be
Yes,
the
yes, sir.
best. That would be the best bicycle to use, really.
Yeah, yeah. I am using his only now. I am not
Yeah.
using, but only thing it's a little taller, so I will reduce that seat low down,
Yeah,
and then it is comfortable for me.
or you buy a second-hand bicycle. They are available. If you don't want to spend a lot of money and risk buying a bicycle which you will regret, just buy a second-hand bike on OLX
Yeah.
or in any of these things. Just take a
Yes.
friend with you when you go to buy that bicycle. Check it out and just
Yeah,
buy.
yeah.
Yeah.
Good. Ashish, your question. Last question.
Sir, join a group. I started by renting a bike from my friend. I took the bike. There was a group, and in that group, I saw many people who were having excellent bikes and they were riding like crazy. So I came last in that initial 1 or 2 months. But then we used to meet twice in a week. So we
Oh,
will
very
do
good.
20 kilometers or 15 kilometers.
Yeah,
But
yeah.
we will be मतलब taking our bikes on in the car and come we at one place like in the area of Shantipat where there are few vehicles. We will bike for 20 kilometers or less than that, and then we will put our bikes back and then come back home. So this is how I started initially for 2 to 3 months. But then I got
Very
the
good.
hang of it, and then so it is all about your see how much you want to invest yourself. If you are really loving it, then yes, why not? If you
Yeah,
don't,
yeah. Got
then
the
you
point.
can then there are other ways of you can do other sports. So
Yes.
as sir said that you can rent a bike, you can take it from your friend and see how your body is handling it, and then
Yes.
make a choice.
So thank you very much, both of you. One side, a marathon runner who Dr. Ali sir, who has done for long years and maintaining good BMI, good health, and practicing and self-containment. And it's a proof of nearly, I don't know, it may be 15, 20 years. The other person started late, but has gone to the very heights, Ironman, and then Ashish Saini. Both of them have decent practice. For all the urologists who are watching, though it is a different topic, yearly twice I am doing on health. Previously, I have done a diet in the month of March. Now I am doing this. The idea is when you are taking care of other patients, we are seeing that many doctors are dying heart attacks. The stress for younger doctors is more. The latest, as Ali sir said, it is only 20 minutes if you raise the heart rate, it will be nice. 20 minutes is too small in 24 hours. If you are not able to spare 20 minutes for yourself, now I am honestly saying, last 12 years, I without doing anything in the morning, at least I don't go. Even if I am outstation, I don't go. It becomes a hobby, and food habits and all different issue. But at least 20 minutes, bare minimum brisk walking to the HIIT. HIIT is very good, people say. Please practice and be healthy and contribute to the society. Thank you both Ali Poonawala sir and Dr. Ashish Saini for this wonderful session. Thank you
Thank
Thank
very
you,
you
sir.
for
much.
giving
Thank
us
you
an
for glad to be
opportunity.
here. Thank you.
Very
Thank you,
nice
sir.
of you to listen
Sir,
to us.
this is international forum. Lot
Yeah,
of people will listen. Nearly 20,000 people are there in the group. It's a
fantastic.
YouTube link which will be there forever. Which will be
Yeah,
there forever as long as the YouTube is there. So good idea to have both of you with me. And
thank
I
you very
hope
much.
interaction is very useful. Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
Thank you very
Thank
much.
you very much, Chandrasekhar. Jai Hind.
Thank you.
Thank you,
Jai
sir.
Hind.
Jai Hind.
Thank you, sir.
I must come to your place.
Yeah, sir. Please, sir. Please, anytime.
Yeah. See you.
Yes, sir.
Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Okay. We will leave, sir.
Yeah, thank you.